Yeah, so I think what it was, I don't know if Rick Jones intentionally exposed himself to the same radiation and to try to become a Hulk-like character, but then just got cancer instead. So it looks like an alternate versions. But I suppose there was an alternate version where the roles were reversed. Interesting. What are these fairy dolls?
Well, I got good news and I got bad news.
Oh, wait, you're decorating?
Yeah.
Wait, do you only have barrels and fairy dolls?
My
No!
good news is I've decorated. My bad news is I've also gone mad with power. Ah, yes. The finest of decor. Barrel! And also...
Fairy dolls.
a lot of fairy dolls.
No! They're like elves on the shelves.
The other alternative is puni jelly or bread.
Wait, where can we put puni jelly? Now we can actually look at it.
I mean, the puni jelly is just the food. We literally just put food on a shelf.
Can we look at it?
Yeah, it's that.
Oh, it is so cute. Wait, you can't put it on a table?
Nope.
No,
I just
no,
put
not,
it on top of the bookcase because that makes sense.
No, not on this
There's also the
bookcase.
crisp bun.
No.
Like, seriously, all of the places we can put it is, like, on top of a bookshelf or, like, next to plants.
Oh, that's by the front door.
Yeah, or we
That's
can put
on
it
the
on
floor.
the floor.
No.
Yeah, that's why I didn't put it anywhere. Kinda limited selection. Let's see.
We'll have to get more. I don't know how. Oh, look.
Oh, Ryza, how about doing some shopping?
Or out doing some shopping.
Oh, sorry. Out doing some shopping?
Yeah, something like that.
Nice. It's always good to contribute to the local economy. Oh, by the way, I'd like to introduce you to my new assistant. You can call her Ruck, short for Rookie. Nice to meet you. Yes, please call me Ruck. Miss Romy's told me a lot about you. She says that you're really amazing, an alchemist?
Nice to meet you too. Not sure about the amazing part, but I am an alchemist.
That's awesome. Please teach me about it when you have some spare time.
Huh? Teach you?
Anyway, I have some cargo I need to unload, so I better get going. Yep, and go and make that money. As you can see, she's kind of excitable. Treat her nice, okay?
Did she just ask me to teach her alchemy?
Oh, never mind that. That's just how she is.
Wow, really?
Actually, that's how I'm training her to be. But that's our little secret, okay?
I became friends with a new girl that works at Romy's shop. And I don't know.
Sorry. Not that it matters too much. Okay, so we're going to do sort quality. Alright.
What do you have a lot of?
I have a lot of things. What I want to do is find everything that is trashed here.
Mm-hmm.
So notice how it says quality like 23?
Ah, but look at that. Some of the stuff increases thread and other stuff.
Yeah, so what I figured I'd do is use this to routinely get rid of everything below a certain quality level. Because I effectively don't want to craft using anything from that quality level. 'Cause
Right.
why?
That's a good way to dump it. Of course, you're just tap 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 tap
It's a
tap
bit
tap
of a
tap
pain.
tap 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 tap. Those peaches, though.
You mean just the shape? The overall lusciousness?
But I think this is the second game that we've played in the year where the peaches look like that. The other one being Animal Crossing.
I mean, there's also just,
Oh, well, there was Okami, too.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they were very on the nose about that. I think it's just a Japanese thing.
They just have an association with peaches.
Yeah. Can't blame them. They are kind of butt-shaped. At least some of them.
You know, as much as I liked peaches, I liked nectarines more because they were like having a peach, but you didn't have to have the fuzz.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever think it was weird eating a peach and having the fuzz
I didn't
on the
mind the
outside?
fuzz too much.
No? You know, it's funny, but I think I haven't touched a peach in over a year.
Yeah.
I've forgotten the slightly tacky, velvety texture of their citrine exteriors.
Boy, howdy. This is something I will do later.
The whole development thing.
Yeah, it ain't worth it. We'll finish this dungeon off and then we stop because my eyes are tired. And I don't know, I always feel like I should do a little bit of attempt at writing every night before bed, even if I'm kind of too tired to be good at it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. The idea of, like, talking about how neither of us have really seen a good magic school thing, I wonder if we could boil it down. Kind of like what we were doing with that zombie.
Oh, when we were talking about zombie apocalypses?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. Boiling magic schools down.
So obviously you need a conflict.
Well, also, another thing I noticed is most magic schools are boarding schools. Traditional British style, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't really have colleges or things. Maybe I should try taking a peek at that Magician series or some of the other Netflix ones where they have more modern magic schools. But yeah, it always seems to be one of those old boarding schools or estates. And, well, actually, even if you look at... Remember when we were watching the show about the... What was it? Little Witch Academia? Very similar, too, where you have a main character, and either they are terrible at magic but have some special abilities that make them stand out from the rest, or they're human but they have a secret magic lineage, which would be Bloom from Winx and stuff. Except it turns out that she actually wasn't.
Yeah, it's rarely because they are just like a hardworking individual.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually because they are special.
There's something special about them. They were chosen. They have a special bloodline. They have an affinity to a magic that no one else has. Something like that. And they gather around them a group of friends and a group of rivals, catty enemies.
Yeah.
Bullies, whatever they may be. Okay, we're gonna talk to these spirits?
I found a magical tome in the Hidden Valleys Library. Talks about all kinds of ancient magic I've never heard of before.
Thank you.
Oh wait, this is the Frozen Moon Witch.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I left before I could properly master the ancient magic, so I need to learn it all over again.
There is some surprisingly outlandish magic in this book. Also appears to be a research report of a dreamer seeking a way to transcend death.
A dreamer seeking to transcend death. Well, the dreamer would be the sleeping one, right? Who has yet to be awakened. So I wonder if this is the Frozen Witch or if this is the sleeper and we'll actually have a villain.
Okay. So
we haven't really been presented with a villain yet in this game. There's no one trying to stop us. There's no one trying to steal our research. You know what I'm getting at? Unless Patricia's father ends up, you know how he said he had some business to attend to and he was exploding things.
True.
How much you want to bet the military is after a creature of, or a device of great power? I don't know. Maybe I'm just putting too much.
I just don't know if this
thought
game
into this
does
game.
villains as much.
Yeah, because the last game didn't have a villain either.
It kind of
Did?
did with Boss and his dad, and the townsfolk being turned against alchemy, blaming them.
But then they went, oh, it's bugs from another dimension.
Well, they also laid a trap to effectively prove their case, and some
Uh-huh.
other things.
That's true.
Let's see. So, breaking down magic schools. So, definitely friends and rivals.
Professors.
Yeah. Probably
And you have the professors that are absolutely horrible and rigid, and the ones that are fun and are supportive. Usually the headmaster tends to support the main character.
Yeah.
But that's because they tend to be the ones that are secretly vouching for them or on their side or know about their true nature.
Mm-hmm.
Fee-fee. Oh, I'm thinking we could attach the emerald band there and swing to the other side. You mean you want to try to jump over that ledge? Oh, don't worry. I think this thing is pretty sturdy.
So we really are just gonna jump over it. But first I must loot this bird nest. Whee.
Fun.
Yeah, it is interesting how the headmaster is usually always kind of secretly or openly on the main character's side despite everything. Obviously Harry Potter. And then I've been reading, shoot, what's that? What's the Mossel.
Mossel?
I've been reading Mossel, which is pretty dang good. Admittedly, it very heavily like follows Harry Potter tropes, so go figure the headmaster would be on the main character's side on that one. That's the one where the main character can't cast any magic.
Oh, is he
But
the
he's
extremely
just
buff
so,
dude?
yeah, he's so strong that he might as well be casting magic.
How does that defend him from a fireball or
Like
electricity?
he just punches it or throws a rock at it or blocks it with kind of whatever.
But you can't toughen your skin.
He did kind of, sort of. I don't know. It's just classic power
That'd
fantasy
be freaky, though,
goof
if
manga
a guy intentionally calloused his entire body
to be
through abrasion.
fireproof.
I don't even think calluses would be able to save you from fire. Nope.
Not to that extent.
Nope, definitely not.
Ancient bugs.
But I mean, if magic is real, then who knows?
In those universes, yeah.
The Phantom Shop has appeared because you discovered a memory vestige left behind by a merchant.
But what's he gonna
Huh.
sell you, ghostly stuff? Okay, what does he have to sell?
I don't know. Let's see. Here he is.
I wonder if there's anything interesting today.
Foamy water, medicine.
Ooh,
emerald.
emerald glass.
The thing is, like this emerald glass we don't have much of. We don't have a whole lot of amber flies.
Magic tomes have little demon tails on them. Or is it just a triangle metal bookmark at the end?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I'd swear that's probably intentional.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's plates. I suppose it also depends on what variety of magic you employ in your universe.
I feel like to have a good, well, Either you have to have a very structured magic system, or it has to be an incredibly high magic system where it's just like, kind of anything goes, but, you know, maybe everybody has their specialties, and it goes from there.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Okay, there we go. Hold this, press the B button.
B button?
Yep. Whenever it says attack, just mash B. It'll die. Because it'll die too fast.
Alright. I've battled. Just battle other things, he says? Can't really swing this. Right, no, that's not what I wanted. Back. I already went. Wait a minute. Oh no. That's the boss. I'm getting away from that. What is the last thing that I need? Unless that is the last thing. I think that's what it's pointing to. It's pointing to the boss. Maybe I'll smack these things around here? Oh, wrong button. Oh, there's an amber fly. Oh, we're picking flies out of webs? That's kind of grotesque. Then again, what am I saying? I remember there was an instance where I found a beautiful... Oh, I suppose I can shimmy this way. I found a bright green dragonfly. It was so pretty and small, but it had gotten caught in a spider web. I didn't see the spider anywhere nearby, but I took it up and I got it out of the web as daintily as I could, and I ended up picking up a fish hook from our tackle set and very daintily removed every single thread from the dragonfly because it had its wings especially were wrapped up in the threads. Ooh, oh wait, this is the library. Wait, these people just had a bunch of bookshelves in the middle of this? Why? Well, I'll raid all these bookshelves. Wait, you already have too much? No! How? These are all pretty high quality items too. Wait, did they disappear? I don't want things to disappear on me. Wait, did it get rid of some books? I hope not, because those tomes looked good. If it's too full, Wander, do things just start disappearing from your inventory?
No. You mean her inventory is super full?
Yeah, because I thought I picked up some tomes and then I don't see them in my inventory now. See?
They're probably these.
Ah, yeah, you're right.
Okay, in that case, let's just go drop it back off.
Oh, but then we have to go all the way back. I just got.
Takes like no time.
I just got into the library.
The only reason why it takes any amount of time is because we're picking up literally everything along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Because I am an absolute horror pack rat and must grab everything. Let's see.
Well, you do have all of those, don't you?
Nah, no new quests have popped up.
Oh, okay. But you haven't handed those ones in, have you?
I can't. Is the real answer. Must grab everything. We have probably too much foamy water. Oh well.
Yeah, the problem is that everything's gonna reload. We just run to the end.
Yeah, we can.
Or at least run to the library area. Because that's where we were starting to get new items.
Yep. We can do that. I'm gonna hit the kind of rarer things as we go by.
Mm-hmm. But yeah. So I freed the dragonfly. And it was actually at the end, there was not a single thread left on it. And it was able to extend its wings and fly away. And that was...
I thought you were talking about in this game. I was like, what?
No. But that made me happy. Though I'm pretty sure the spider is was cursing at me if it was present. And off to the side. How dare you steal my lunch? That could have sustained me for an entire week. How dare you?
Man, what are the other good, common, or necessary elements for magic school? Because I think... I'm just going to go back to that.
Okay, dark magic or cult.
Yeah.
Because there's always the dark magic or cult that's behind a lot of bad things. Sometimes spirit familiars. Though I think more things should have cool spirit familiars.
I feel like it should be a variety, though.
Yeah.
That it was almost too structured in, like, the Golden Compass where everyone had one, and it was just like... I mean, it was cool, but it was almost, like, too trendy.
Mm-hmm. I still think it'd be cool to have one that you upgrade with magic. Yeah, there's the dark thing. I don't know if it's the witch or if it's some kind of...
Oh, did you actually, like, go through here?
No.
No.
I went this
the
way.
library's on the other side.
Library's down that way. I don't know if you want... Don't fight her yet.
Why not?
I don't know what's going to happen to the... to the world.
Nah, we'll be fine.
To the ruins.
It's the nightmare spirits. Heck, I don't think this is even the boss. I think this is just a
sub-boss. Yeah, it's probably a sub-boss.
Yeah, it's dying way too fast. Could be anything else. It could be like a bonus objective that... Or not a bonus objective, yeah.
Oh.
Guarding a memory.
The apothecary again.
What's this? It looks like something used to ring a bell.
When lasting peace comes to this land, ring the bell in the cemetery to undo the seal. The grand bell must be rung by a virtuous person in a virtuous time. Give the task only to one who you trust completely.
So do we get to ring the bell and wake the...
Wish to ring the bell, do you?
I'll have to see. Another thing common in magic school stuff, I mean, there's always tests or trials, but that's just an aspect of school itself.
Yeah.
And then obviously you have character tropes related to the rivals or the friends. You know, the people who come from a well-off family or a long lineage of mages who scoff at others. There's the goofballs who always mess up with their magic. There's the people who take their studies very seriously. Oh, the Frozen Moon Witch was back here.
Back then, I could have never imagined the true potential of the ancient magic. The art of transferring your soul into something else. I must acquire it no matter what.
I feel like that goes badly for her. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
you know, slumbering maiden of the valley.
Yeah. Magic bookshelf. Wait, did we get a magic bookshelf?
I think we just looked at it.
Oh.
It's
We
like
got
one
an
of the clues.
explanation. Yeah. Wait, did you check all the books? And all
Pretty
the
much.
bookshelves?
So we got all the clues. The only thing left in this area would be like a gathering thing that I missed.
The rock.
Which, like, a little hard to care about to some degree.
Mm-hmm.
Because on one hand, yes, I would like to just accrue massive amounts of treasure. On the other hand, it doesn't really make or break the dungeon plot-wise. It's just a matter of...
There is a giant bell in here.
Yeah.
So I wonder when we do ring it up there.
Oh,
See?
yeah, way up there. Maybe at the end.
Bellringer's Path.
Well, how big is the zone? Big! Dang big.
Also, what's the purple and the blue ring? Can you look in the distance for a moment?
1 second.
There are multiple bells.
Yup. Well. Okay. Ooh. So, reaction rune crystal and rune fragment
Yeah.
is what it's reacting to.
Another thing, too, is sometimes they have a conflict between those who can use magic and those who can't.
Mm-hmm.
Whether magic users are shunned by society and have to live in secret, or if magic users are the upper classes or their own caste above other people.
I hate the idea of, like, there just being people that can't do it. I feel like it makes way more logistical sense to have, like,
everyone is capable, but
to actually...
It really depends on the source of your magic, though.
Yeah. But it's kind of like, I don't know, I consider it like advanced mathematics. Everybody's capable of doing, high-end calculus, but how many people can do high-end calculus?
So you're definitely in the camp of things need to be a
It just
learned
feels
skill.
really awkward.
Well, because if you do have the bloodlines or the...
And I think you can still have the bloodlines. It's always weird. It's like, okay, so what determines whether or not you can do it?
No. I wasn't advocating for the bloodlines. I'm just saying that the bloodlines make sense in a series in which magic is a natural aptitude that's granted to you because of your connection to aether flows or some kind of cosmic entity or thing that is the source of magic.
And it makes sense to have, different characters have different aptitudes. So it's like, hey, you're real good with fire magic. Hey, you don't really have any specialties, but that means you can kind of use anything.
I remember I used to think that elemental magic was awesome, but then I realized that the weird magic that does odd and peculiar things that you find
Is
in
way
Dungeons
more
and Dragons.
fun. Yeah, exactly. Like I've definitely played a couple of D&D characters that didn't have a single attack skill.
Where it's all strange utility.
Yeah, strange utility and buffs and whatnot. Like the realization that bull's strength and bear's endurance actually are really helpful in D&D. And that everybody always just slots the healer with all the healing spells and doesn't bother with the rest of the stuff. It's like, no.
Yeah,
It's those other things that are amazing. Healing is boring.
I suppose what I was thinking of was something like Arcane Eye. Being one of those odd spells that's very circumstantial, but interesting and isn't affiliated with an element.
That too. I remember one of my favorite spells is Lehman's Tiny Hut. I don't know if it exists.
Oh yeah, it still does.
It still does? But Lehman's...
It's where you create that little safe space.
Yeah, exactly. It just gives you a little living space so you can camp out wherever without having to worry about getting ganked by monsters.
Does it also serve as a bag of holding of sorts, or no?
No.
Oh, okay.
No,
So
it disappears.
Does it already come furnished, or is it literally just a hut?
I honestly don't remember.
Because if
I think we had it that it was furnished. I think even like when I was casting it, I kind of demanded that it was just attached to my house back in wherever.
So what you're really getting was a portal to a hut that connected to your house.
Yeah. Because I think that was cool. That was one of my favorite things in Harry Potter when they were doing the big Quidditch tournament in the fourth book, where they had tents and you could go into them and they were like decked out in the interior.
Yeah.
And it was just like, oh man, that's cool.
Oh, hey, you can talk to people.
Oh boy. Game does not want to let me rest.
Mm-hmm.
I do have rose bees.
Here we go. That's all our rose bees.
That's okay. We will find more. The reason why I'm prioritizing these over holding a stock of certain things is I want to have as much SP as possible.
Mm-hmm. So you can slot into different spells, yeah.
Hunt Big Pony. Okay, and then go make
Wait, you are getting
bomb.
a reputation with the children.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
by turning in these quests. Low quality bomb. Still a decent bomb. Okay. So we want to go back to Marybeast Highway.
Wait, but there were all the people that we wanted to talk to.
We'll talk to them in a bit. I just wanted to kill Big Boony.
Where is Big Puny?
It's the weird clown-looking thing in the right.
So it's the boss.
Yeah.
Okay.
While we're here, I'm gonna restock on these ores. Because I definitely have been running out. Gold beehives.
I'm sorry, but I would rather not touch this.
She
Touch-
says.
Touch the bug.
The wasp hives.
No, they're definitely beehives.
Oh, well, they look like sections of wasp hives that
Yeah.
come off trees and such. It was the end of fall once, and unbeknownst to my family, a giant hornet's nest had been built in one of our maple trees.
Ah.
And we didn't know, because I hadn't been climbing that tree much because it was high school.
Oh yeah, didn't your dad just go out and hose it?
No, I threw a football at it.
Oh, just bopped it down and then
Ran.
hooked it?
It was so cold though, and I think frost had come at least once or twice, that I think only 3 bees pursued me and didn't get very far. I just sprinted past my mailbox. And then, yeah, a couple days later, I think my dad was just able to bag the thing up, make sure it was empty or destroyed. It's really fascinating when you look on the inside of those and see the grublings and the bees inside the little combs.
Yep.
Makes me wonder where the queen was and all that. Because you would... Unless hornets are... maybe it was like a jacket nest? I'm trying to think of what would make a large hive like that. If they even have queens in the way that...
I think they do.
They still do? Probably. I know that there are some species that don't, when it comes to hornets and wasps and such. But honeybees, they definitely have queens. You know what?
Hmm?
Where do bumbles live?
Generally hives, I thought.
Do bumblebees have hives?
Thought so.
I want to look this up now. Wait, where's the phone?
It's in my pocket.
Why did you put it there? I want to see which pocket. I want to learn about bees. Because I thought there were some bees that were ground bees. Oh, bumblebees do live in a colony made up of a queen bee, female worker bees, and male bees. But the colonies are annual, meaning they only live for 1 year. And as the seasons shift, so too do the needs of the colony.
Huh.
Then how do they live after... Whereas honeybees build hives, bumblebees live in nests with up to a few hundred fellow bees. They can't be domesticated. Okay. They're burrows and holes in the ground. I knew it! I knew that they were ground ones. Groundlings. Isn't that interesting? Man, their hives look scary.
Bumblebees? Oh.
They're just holes in the ground. Ew. 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 This person dug one out.
Oh.
Huh?
I get... That makes a little bit more sense.
Ew.
Yeah.
What is the phobia of holes?
Oh.
What is it called?
I forget.
I don't say I have it, but
Holes can be weird.
well, those holes are also bumblebee holes. It looks like a bunch of ooh.
Can you close away from that tab so I don't have to look at it and
Oh,
give me my phone back?
Sorry.
Also, please don't show me that stuff. You know I don't like bugs that much.
Oh, I know. Okay, I suppose wasps do have queens.
Gimme.
Okay, fine. Fine. So, what I was gonna say is, unlike nice honeycomb patterns, bumblebees just lay these egg pupa things into the earth, and I suppose their larva breaks out of them. So it just looks like a bunch of oddly misshapen bubbles piled on each other, and ew. In any case, the capital is so busy. I'm getting dizzy just looking at all these shops.
Ha! I felt the same way when I first got here. The shops are just so much fancier. I actually got so nervous I couldn't even go shopping at first. Plebeians!
Ahem! So, you two seem quite close.
Yes, we know that.
Oh yeah, we've known each other since we were kids.
Even so, you seem a little too close.
Really? What do you think, Tao?
I feel like we're the normal amount of close. We've always been like this.
No. What I'm trying to say is, you are a man and a woman, yes? I think it is quite rare for two people of the opposite sex to be such good friends.
Oh, I guess that's true. You don't see a lot of people like that around here. Usually when you see a man and a woman who are close, they're likely lovers.
Wait, what? Is that the impression we give people?
You mean you and me? That's hilarious.
I don't think it's hilarious at all.
I absolutely respect Ryza as a person. I think it's amazing how when she decides to do something, she puts everything she has into it. But when it comes to some of her other qualities, well, you know.
Wow! That's so mean. Okay. I think I understand. As things stand, you are just good friends. I guess? Friends that one must keep an eye on.
Keep an eye on? What does that mean?
Huh. People from the big city sure are complicated. Yeah, I've been joking this entire time.
I know. She's definitely jealous.
I think I'm starting to get the hang of what I can gather around here. I think I'm ready to try out the recipe morph. Recipe morph. Be able to use recipe morph material loops during synthesis. They allow you to obtain completely... Oh gosh, that backfired so much.
The burp?
So, we had spicy Indian curry.
Oh, are you having spicy Indian seconds?
No. What's happening is I burped, but it didn't release properly, so it kind of backfired down my esophagus.
Yum.
Which isn't a good feeling.
Yum.
Because I think it put stress on my lungs? Don't tell me that the back burp went into my lungs too.
Yum.
There are so many new things here I never saw in Kurken Island. Maybe I should try some new combinations. Yes.
I've been putting this off for a while. I was wondering where I was going to get my new equipment and like half the recipes in this game. Turns out I've just been
Have we
ignoring
both
a
depleted our water at this
major
point?
feature.
Do you have any tea left?
No. However, it's late. We'll finish this
But
dungeon.
the dungeon!
Okay. Here, Shell. Flip side. You go refill your water and maybe my tea. I know I have some water left. Have some, but go refill your stuff. I'm gonna go do errands.
Oh, but I want to be there for the errands because I have to voice act.
No.
We had to talk with boss and everyone. Go
Not
back.
if we're going to Marabreeze Highway. I'm gonna go back to areas that like we straight up can't do anything with.
Okay.